Love, unity, and light. My friends, this entire world experience, Earth, is a giant psyop. It became that. That's not what it was, but it's become that. It's become a psyop. And the only way a psyop works is through belief, through your mentality. And man, I'm really getting it, man. It's so exciting when we start to get this. And we get it, we really get it. We're not in doubt. Man, it's good to overcome doubt. Great. Because then you get power. And you see, once you're beyond doubt, you don't doubt your power. You know you have it. You know you have it. So let's talk a little bit about how this works. We got so many people, humans. See, the first thing we got to do, should do, could do, is tune everything out. See, if you can't break the addiction that you have to listening to whatever you're listening to, whether it's news, whether it's other people, whether it's YouTube videos, whether it's your family, whether it's people at your church, whether it's people at your university, your school, all these people, right, that don't know themselves, therefore do not understand how the reality works. Don't listen to any of them, none of them, because you're just training yourself to know falsehood. What do you want to train yourself to, be really great at understanding falsehood? No, why? Because your subconscious gets its orders from you, and it does not know when you're joking, when you're ignorant, when you're serious, when you're with it, when you're not with it. It doesn't know any of that. It takes orders only. It takes its orders from you only. And it takes you very serious. So if you were jokingly walking around saying, man, I wish I had CANCER, it wouldn't be too long, and that would end up manifesting. And if you were ignorant as to how this all works, you would have no idea that you gave it to yourself by speaking that way. So all the people that you listen to, if you're listening to tons of people, man, you better make sure that you're listening to people that really get it, that understand how self works, because self's running the world. The Illuminati ain't running the damn world. The government isn't running the world. The president's not running the world. God is not running the world. Unless it's you. You're running the world. You're running whose world? You're running your world. You're running your world. And you're running your world through your consciousness, but your subconscious is running a good amount of your world. And again, it got its orders from you. It gets its orders from you. So this is easy, man. You're gonna be so excited soon, because you're gonna really get this. You're gonna realize how simple it really is. And you're going to turn all of it around. Like if you got struggles and issues and problems, seemingly everybody down here does, but everybody down here does not. Again, it's only coming from your perception. If you perceive that everybody's effed and effed up, then you're going to only meet those people. And they're going to confirm to you what you believe. And so you're going to be depressed because you're going to be seeing and experiencing that everybody's effed up. And so it's disgusting to live in a world where everybody's effed up, right? But that's not the case. Everybody's not effed up. Everybody's not under mind control. And a lot are, but again, who cares about anybody else? Because this is your experience. This is your experience. That's what I just said. In other words, this is your world. And you are God of your world. Get over this funky ass thing that they've planted in everybody's mind that makes you feel guilty for even saying that or thinking that, or oh, nobody can say they're God. That's terrible, you know. Like God is way off someplace that you have no idea where, don't know his number, you lost contact with it, and now you're hoping to reestablish it. Get past that bullshit. That's never been true. You've never lost contact because you are the representative right here, right now. So therefore, you're God here. You're God of your world. You're God of your experience. And your subconscious has access to everything. Everything. Name something. Anything. Elements. Materials. Currencies. Frequency, anything, everything, all of it. So you already have everything available to you. Now, are you sitting there saying to your subconscious mind, man, I don't have this, that, or the other. I got this problem, and I have this, and I have this. See, you're affirming the negative then. Like if you go around all the time saying, man, I'm broke all the time, you're going to be broke because you're telling the infinite subconscious that has everything, hey, I know I have everything, but I'm broke. So you're telling yourself you want to experience broke. And broke will manifest. And you will say, see, I told you I was broke. Yeah, but see, you're the one with the power. Of course you're broke because you affirmed it to yourself and continue to. And when it manifests, you want to act like you have no power, but you're the one that did it. See how this works? You're the one with the power. You're God here. And if you don't really believe that, but you want to believe that, well, that's better than just scoffing and acting foolish because you really don't understand yourself yet. It's the only people on this planet that have any kind of problems at all are people that don't know themselves and don't know how they work. Thus, they do not know how the reality and the world at large work. And no wonder that we don't, because we've been psyoped. That's why I started this out by saying this whole world down here is a psyop. And psyops only work if you believe it. It's psychological, psyop, psychology, psychological, mental. It does not work. A psyop will never work on someone who knows who they are. Never work. Why not? Because that person will never affirm to their subconscious the lies. And a psyop is a lie. See, a psyop, the biggest psyop going down here, again, is this whole God concept. That God is somebody or something with a name off way up there someplace, and your little you separated down here, and he's got all the power and you don't have any power. But if you can get on his good side, you might could get a little favor, and therefore you could get some crumbs. Bullshit. Bullshit. Psyop. Don't even program your subconscious with that bullshit. God is not off anywhere. God is everywhere. So if God is everywhere, he, it, they, she, we are in you. And if you could only come to understand that God has always been you and will always be you, and you realize, you already know, you don't even have to realize, you know what everybody believes about God, meaning talking in terms of power, talking in terms of resources, talking in terms of all that. So the only really thing you need to do is reprogram your psyop subconscious and conscience to affirm to yourself who you really are. And once that is rooted in your subconscious, then it becomes simple or easier or quicker. Because then you're no longer in this tug of war with yourself where you're still trying to convince yourself that you are not what you thought you were, or what they said you were, or who they said you were. See, once you know who and what you are, then it's easy, because all you got to do is speak to the subconscious like a captain on a ship speaks to the people that work for him. If he says, change the heading of the ship to this, they're not going to go, well, what about this and what about that? And we heard this and we heard, no, none of that, none of that. They're going to immediately change course of the ship to whatever the captain said it was. Okay? That's you speaking to your subconscious when you know who you are. And it's instantly going to happen. And so you're much going to be able to manifest much quicker whatever your will is, whatever your desire is. And we may have to get past the programming, the psyop of thinking that having a will and desire is bad. Like you shouldn't want for things. What do you mean? We're in a freaking physical experience. We're having a physical experience. And so I'm not to desire anything physical? That's stupid talk. It's okay to want fresh fruit to eat. It's okay to, let's say you want a companion that you know is going to be perfect for you, and you've always wanted a German Shepherd or whatever. And so you get one. What, are you supposed to feel guilty because you wanted a dog? Because you wanted a companion? Because you know what I mean? So no. So just carry that on then. You want a car. Well, you want a car so you don't have to walk your ass off all the time. Nothing wrong with that. Well, what about things you don't really need but you just want? Like what? Say you want some art because you want to put some stuff on your walls that resonate and send that frequency into your subconscious every time you look at it. Oh, but it's a little bit expensive. It's art. You don't really need that. That's just something you want. Yeah. It's perfectly okay. Perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it. And since you're now dealing with life from a place where you know where you are, you don't have to sit there and entertain this other stupid psyop of you're gonna get you're gonna get carried away by physicality or physical things, and your heart, all of a sudden you're gonna be addicted to art. Now you're gonna want too much art. Now you're gonna want 5 dogs. Now you're gonna want, no you're not. Why not? Because you know who you are now. You know that your heart is not for building up a storehouse of treasures that's just going to rust and be given to somebody else or whatever. Right? Because your heart is finally in it's not even that it's finally in its proper position. It's finally functioning the way it was intended to function. Because why? We got past the psyop. See? The heart is not functioning properly in any of the humans that are still under the psyops, that still don't know who they are, that are still chasing these fairies and chasing these deities and chasing favor and chasing resolve and chasing... that's all anybody's really chasing anyway, is resolve. That's the only thing that the people going to the psychologists and their therapy and all that, they just want resolve. That's what they're after. That's the only reason they're taking meds, is because they want resolve. Because they've been psyoped. And they do not know who they are. Discover who you are, remember who you are, and you will break the spell of all psyops immediately, and you will almost instantaneously get positive feedback from the reality, because now your subconscious is working for you. Instead of, it's always working for you, but it's working against you if you're sending it ignorant messages, like the example earlier about cancer, which nobody would ever think that, or, well, I shouldn't say that. There's probably people that do say that. There's probably people expecting it, right? Again, because of a psyop. It runs in your family. Your grandma had, your mom had it, your grandma had it, your great-grandpa had it, and therefore you should be expecting it. And so you're telling the subconscious, I expect it to show up, and when it does, bam! You see for yourself how powerful you are and how powerful the subconscious is. That's how this whole thing works. Keep it simple. That's how simple it works. Use your conscious mind to program your subconscious mind, and then you can speak to the subconscious like you used to speak to God. See, you used to pray to God and say, God, do this, God, do that. God, can you do this? God, can you do that? And most of it never happened, and you think to yourself, why doesn't God listen to me? Why doesn't God hear me? Why doesn't God ever do anything? Because you're speaking to an egregor. But if you spoke to your subconscious, which is part of God, which is part of you that is here representing God, you would find out that that works. That does work. And see, once you know all this, you can speak to that subconscious and then forget about it, meaning in the conscious mind. You don't have to sit there and keep peppering it like you did God with your prayers. You can speak to it, know that it got the message, know that it's working on it, and that the law of attraction is bringing forth that which you decree, because you know who you are. This is freaking, This is so simple, but so damn powerful. And we got people out there, these poor people, every time a storm happens, every time anything happens, they use that to confirm to themselves the psyop. See, we're in the end times. See, the end of the world's coming soon. See, they're doing a mass kill-off. See, they're controlling us yet more. See. And so you're expecting all that, and it's showing up in your reality, and you think that confirms that they've got the power and that you don't. It's a lie. It's a psyop. You have the power. They don't. You have the power, they don't. You can't hear me? What? You have the power, they don't. But do you believe it? And if you believe it, you will manifest it, whatever it is you believe. Who's got the power in your reality, in your world, since you're God and you're creating it? Who's got the power? You or them? Seems to me like most people on YouTube think they got all the power. But I'm here to tell you, nope, you do. We do. Don't fall for no more of the psyop. Reprogram your subconscious starting right now, and I promise you results. By the next time I have another video up, you're going to see results. Love and light until then, my friends.